Schön, dass du eingeschaltet hast. Genau passend zu der neuen Folge Let's Play Stanley's Parable. Wer die anderen Folgen noch nicht gesehen hat, geht mal jetzt oben rechts an die auf. Dort habe ich einmal eine Playlist ganz oben hinzugefügt. Und genau, hier habe ich was entdeckt. Zum Aufsammeln was. Da will ich hin. Will ich.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Ist das dämlich? Sind die
God,
hier?
it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Ja. Genau, das ist die Achievement-Maschine. Sind die hier überall versteckt? Kann ich die hier aufsammeln? Okay, was haben wir hier?
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Ich darf nicht mehr. Wie traurig. Okay, was ist hier? Merch. Kann man das wirklich kaufen? Also, kann man schon vorstellen, dass die Entwickler da auch so ein Merchandise haben. Genau, Bürodekoration, großes unendliches Loch, das hatten wir schon. Superkreis. Genau, da ist ja das Loch. Das ist der Ausgang. Kann ich nochmal zum Loch gehen? Da hatte ich ja in der letzten Folge sehr viel Spaß mit. Da wird mir das erklärt. Mhm, ja. Mhm. Nein, ist zu. Schade. Haben wir dann hier eigentlich auch alles gesehen? Oder... Aber ich bin gerade echt orientierungslos. Da Achievement haben wir dieses zum Aufsammeln haben wir. Sammelobjekte haben wir. Den Sprungkreis haben wir auch. Dann würde ich sagen, was sieht, wenn wir jetzt zum Ausgang gehen? Genau, das mit dem Knopf haben wir auch. Verlassen wir doch einfach mal das Museum. Ich wüsste, wo der Ausgang ist. Ah, hier. Tschüss. Sicherlich komme ich...
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the bucket exhibit. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the bucket. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now.
Sollen die Eimer-Ausstellung ansehen. Und ich wusste, dass ich nicht rauskomme. Irgendwie habe ich damit gerechnet. Da ist ja das Loch. Wo komme ich? Einstellungsweltmeister, aha. Oh, das ist neu. Der Pfeil klingt gut, da geh mal rein.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Wow. Wow. Geile Treppe. Super. Die hat mich jetzt richtig vom Hocker gehauen. Aber wenn da der Einstellungsmeister ist, da komme ich ja nicht hin. Da ist der Bucket. 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 Konnte ich das nur übersehen?
A common complaint of the Stanley parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem.
Wo ist der Eimer?
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Beruhigungseimer.
Anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Ja, ich will mich beruhigen. Was?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Und jetzt? Ah, ich kann mit dem Eimer gehen.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
Ja, und wie?
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Kann ich jetzt zum Ausgang gehen? Der Eimer ist doch so bescheuert. Schlepp ich dir jetzt die ganze Zeit mit mir mit, oder was? Auf jeden Fall ist die Wand weg. Das ist schon mal ganz
So, Stanley,
gut.
what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere.
Ja, bin ich gespannt.
Let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Ja! Wow.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Okay, Version 2 ist auch nicht gerade besser.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
Ja, mach das mal.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ja! Das Spiel beginnen, okay. Bin gespannt.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a...
Was das jetzt?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oder ist das
What
jetzt...
did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Das
missed
ist
a
der
memo.
Eimer! What the...
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Mach ich dasselbe?
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Der erzählt jetzt eine
Stanley did
andere
not
Geschichte.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Aha.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Ich gebe meinen Eimer...
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Nein.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Was?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Nein.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Kann es sein, dass er mir immer recht gibt?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Nein.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Ich mach alles falsch.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Ja.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Ja. Das ist ein Eimer.
Correct.
Was?
This is a bucket.
Ich schneide das nicht mehr.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Nein.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is?
Nein, ich weiß nicht, was ein Eimer ist.
A bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Hä?
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Doch, ich bin ein Eimer.
Wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay. Sind wir jetzt wieder am Anfang? Also ich habe irgendwie eine neue Liebe auf Eimer bekommen. Ja, ich würde sagen, ich beende jetzt hier die Folge. Falls euch die Folge gefallen hat, könnt ihr mir gerne ein Like und ein Abo da lassen. Das würde mich richtig freuen. Und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal, wenn es heißt Stanley's Parable. Ich bin gespannt, was noch alles kommt. Also dann, bis dahin. Ciao, ciao. Und übrigens, Spoiler, da vorne steht der Eimer.